The catastrophic mismanagement behind LA's wildfire by Mujin. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Tens of thousands of structures destroyed as hundreds of thousands of people are evacuated. A health emergency declared due to all the smoke in the air. Police...
I saw videos of people saying on Twitter and stuff and on TikTok, why they wearing a mask? I thought COVID was over. I thought COVID was done. Why this stupid dumbass wearing a mask?
Declared due to all the smoke in the air. Police deployed to burnt areas because of looters. Tap water isn't even safe to drink or cook with. And a fire tornado straight from the gates of hell itself, with winds reaching over 85 miles per hour.
I get 60-mile-an-hour windstorms pretty frequently. 85 is insane. On top of with the fire. Dude, this is insane. This looks like something out of freaking Elden Ring. With the burning lands of heck.
Not only is this a natural disaster, but we're also witnessing one of the biggest logistical disasters in history. Historians are going to write about this, but before they do, we're going to talk about it in this video, starting with this map. These are all the structures and buildings destroyed because of this fire so far, and
every little block is a home,
we're only getting started. Look at the amount of destruction here. This is insane. Massive communities wiped off the face of the earth. Now, this map right here is for evacuations, okay? Look at this massive area. Whatever is in orange is already burning. Whatever's in red is an evacuation order. If you live in these areas, you are obligated to leave immediately. And whatever's in yellow is an evacuation warning, okay? You have to be on standby, and you can receive a message at any moment telling you to leave. The fires are so deep in the city that they're so close to Santa Monica itself. But I want you to imagine something. Imagine that you are a Los Angeles resident living in these yellow areas. You receive a message on your phone, an emergency alert with a loud sound saying new. This is an emergency message from the Los Angeles County Fire Department. An evacuation warning has been issued in your area. Remain vigilant of any threats and be ready to evacuate. Gather loved ones, pets, and supplies. Continue to monitor local weather, news, and the webpage Alerta for more information. Now, this message was made to be sent to people in the yellow areas when their areas turn red. But in this case, millions of Los Angeles residents received these messages on their phones, some not even close to the fires.
Oh no, and now panic ensues and traffic is gonna get fucked. It's not even the people's fault, by the way, chat. It's not. It's not them. It's not their fault.
How would you feel seeing a message like this when you have an elderly parent or children or pets? But hey, don't worry. It's all good. It's okay. Because they received a message around 20 minutes later saying, oops, sorry, disregard last...
30 minutes later? Not even like 2 minutes later? People are already packing shit up.
Evacuation, it was for Kenneth Fire only. So the fire that's very far around here, close to Agora Hills and Calabasas. You think to yourself, okay, fine, listen, this made me panic like crazy, but hey, this was one mistake. I'm sure it won't happen again. Well, guess what? You go to sleep, and at 4 a.m., you're woken up because of a very loud sound on your phone. It's another emergency alert saying the same exact thing. Guess what? This one was also sent to millions of people, and it was also a false alarm. This sparked
again, and then people stop trusting, and then people die because they don't want to listen.
Massive panic, all right? And now people don't even trust these messages anymore. Authorities are worried that if they send an evacuation message to people, they're going to disregard it. And why wouldn't they?
Exactly.
How could this happen in a country that calls itself a first world country in a state like California? Have we learned nothing from 2018? Hawaiians back then had to deal with a message like this sent to their phone saying a ballistic missile threat is inbound.
Was this back in like 2018, I think? Or 16? I forget. People thought they genuinely thought they were gonna die.
To Hawaii. Seek immediate shelter. This is not a drill. This turned out to be false, of course, but it was tragic. Families were calling each other saying goodbye. But it was unfortunate.
You get PTSD and then they're like, oopsies! False alarm! My bad!
unfortunately only the tip of the iceberg. This led to the famous copy pasta of someone having intercourse with their biological sister because they
That is so foul. Chat is actually disgusting. Your biological sister. I would rather die. Genuinely. I don't. That's disgusting. It's gotta be fake. There's just so many barriers to your brain to like stop incest. You have to be so fucked in the head for both of you want to like have sex with each other. Foul.
thought they were going to die anyway, so why
die.
not? Okay, we cannot have more incidents like these happen. And this is one of many logistical failures that have occurred in Los Angeles only in the last few days. Look, I lived in Los Angeles for a few years of my life, and I can tell you right now, wildfires are a yearly occurrence. Initially, the red skies and the smoky air is going to shock you, but by the second year you live there, you'll understand this is something that happens all the time. But why does it happen? Well, the phenomenon is called whiplash, where you have extremely wet weather at one time and then extremely dry weather at the other with no in-betweens. Los Angeles weather always fluctuates between two extremes, and it typically has very dry winters like right now, which means
I also read it was because of the winds as well. The winds, instead of blowing one way, blew in the other direction, and then boom. Australian eucalyptus. I had to study that at school, by the way. Fun fact, I studied biology in college for a bit, and one of the main mistakes that California did is that they imported frickin' Australian eucalyptus, which is insanely flammable. Yeah, they get gifted by the Australians, and it's basically the perfect tree for them because it blooms everywhere and it grows everywhere, and then kaboom, it blows up at like the slightest sneeze or inconvenience.
Is that all the moisture from grass and any vegetation is completely gone in the mountains, and it's all going to act like fuel at the slightest little spark that lights up for whatever reason. When you combine this with such insane winds that can spread embers miles away, this is how you get a ridiculous amount of fire spreading way too quickly.
So
Not
American.
to mention that this wind can knock down a UFC fighter if it wanted to. Even if you had the equipment, you can't even make it to where the fire is because the wind would stop you. Because fires are a yearly occurrence in Los Angeles, one could say that it's like earthquakes in Japan. Earthquakes in Japan happen often, which is why they've converted all their infrastructure to be made specifically to resist them as much as possible. But this begs the question that everyone's asking. How is it that fire hydrants in Los Angeles, a city that gets wildfires all the time, ran out of water immediately? Firefighters,
I think they ran out like 3 hours into the biggest fire, if I remember correctly.
would show up to the scene, use water a little bit, and then all of a sudden realize, wait, this is already out of water. We have to leave immediately. Well, it turns out that there was a water reservoir in the Palisades, the biggest fire going on right now, right? That had a capacity of 117 million gallons that was empty. And it didn't get empty recently. It's been empty for an entire year, making residents furious. This isn't just a water capacity issue, right? The less water you have, the less water pressure you have as well. And when the winds are so crazy, you need very good water pressure to be able to counter the extremely strong fires. This was a water capacity and a water pressure logistical disaster.
I'm sorry,
and
I
many are
drank it
wondering,
all.
how could this happen? This is the most
Where did the water go, chat? Why'd you drink it, chat?
taxed state in the United States, after all. If you live in California, you pay as much taxes as I do in France, but here at least I get free healthcare. Like, what's going on?
Wait, you live in France? I am so sorry.
Well, the governor of California, Gavin Newsom, posted this on his Twitter account, saying that he's calling for an independent investigation into the loss of water pressure to local fire hydrants and the reported unavailability of water supplies from the Santa Ynez Reservoir. We need answers to ensure this does not happen again, and we have every resource available to fight these catastrophic fires. But to many, this just sounds like Mr. Beast investigating himself. This shouldn't have happened to begin with. An investigation shouldn't have happened to begin with. But it did, and it severely impacted what firefighters could even do, because without water, they can't do anything. They're just human beings at the end of the day. This prompted other countries to step in to help, like Mexico and Canada, more specifically.
Oh my gosh, other countries stepped in to help? Oh, we've investigated ourselves and found nothing wrong. I mean, It's good that they're investigating. It's just not gonna come to anything, I don't think, man. I think other people should investigate them, other governments even. Yeah.
Specifically the province of Quebec, sending their super scooper plane carrying a lot of water, dumping it on the fires. But here's the thing. The pilot flying this plane, volunteering, almost lost his life because some idiot was flying his drone over the fires trying to capture footage.
I think this person should get sentenced to jail or something. Like, you have to be such a fucking dumb piece of shit.
This hit the wing of the super scooper and almost downed the plane. It can't help anymore. In fact, planes and helicopters were forbidden from going for a while because of all these drones in the air risking their lives.
My entire fucking neighborhood's on fire. I better go and get drone shots for my TikTok. God, I hate social media so fucking much. Why would you fly a drone in these woods? That's actually another really good point. Why would you even do that? I understand if you're maybe like really far away, like, you know, like if you're miles and miles and miles away from like the situation, you can get like a really cool shot of like the entire thing happening, even if it's like not in the air. But like, why would you even risk it doing it while there's still fires going on? Like, what's the point? It's just for content and clicks.
Now, yes, the police department did say that if you're flying a drone in the area right now, you risk a $75,000 fine. But dude, the damage was done. This is another logistical disaster. The firefighters were lacking water and now didn't have access to foreign aid for a while. So far, no one's been arrested, but it's not like it's a priority because people are too distracted by things that don't exist right now. One of the fires that sparked up in Los Angeles was in the Hollywood Hills, something unprecedented. But thankfully, it was contained within a day and isn't a threat anymore. This hasn't stopped tens of millions of people to believe that this footage is real. Yes, even though there's 3 L's in the Hollywood sign.
I think Asmund said it best. Hollywood is on fire because all them goddamn gays. That's God telling them to burn down Hollywood.
Many people thought this was real. There were many videos shared of the Hollywood sign burning, either taken from movies, series, YouTube videos, you name it. And people ate it up. Like this TikTok right here with 4.4 million likes and tens of millions of views asking, who the hell said there was a fire on the Hollywood sign? Many of the comments being in complete
That's you being fake. You filmed this before the fires. I don't believe you.
Sign. Many of the comments being in complete disbelief, asking themselves if they actually fell for AI, and it turns out they did. But whether you were tricked by this video or not, many people thought that these fires had something to do with arson, and it wouldn't be the first time a major fire in Los Angeles was caused by human negligence. A devastating fire at the end of 2017 was caused by power lines sparking. One of the craziest Los Angeles fires that was caused back in 2020 was because of a malfunctioning smoke machine that caught fire.
I remember this, the gender reveal, and they banned that shit because it's so dumb.
Fire during a gender reveal party. It ended up claiming the life of a veteran firefighter. This is making many people believe that it's too much of a coincidence that many of these fires are starting next to residential areas. Like this tweet right here claiming that there's an arsonist in LA. While some residents spotted someone on a bicycle carrying a blowtorch in their neighborhood 30 minutes after the Kenneth fire had started. They took him down, tied him up, and then called the police, who showed up 30 minutes later. He claimed
Holy shit.
that he was carrying a blowtorch because he used it to light up weed. Yes. The reason
Excuse me? Yeah. I don't know. Kind of convenient, but sure. Again, innocent until proven guilty. Very, 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 very sus. It's for concentrates. I don't know. I don't smoke weed. Innocent until proven guilty. Based for tying him up and getting to the police and then investigating if it's true or not. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't beat him up, though.
Why this was significant was because the Los Angeles Police Department had initially said that it believed that the Kenneth fire was started intentionally, unlike the others. But obviously when they said this, they had no proof and they still don't. They wanted to put this guy in jail no matter what, but didn't have enough evidence to do anything with him. The damage was done though. People are now paranoid over the fact that there are arsonists starting these fires on purpose, inciting more panic and conspiracy theories. Someone else got arrested, a 60-year-old woman, for starting a fire that was thankfully very quickly extinguished by authorities, adding more fuel to the fire. No pun intended, but you get what I mean. But whether it was arson or natural...
Why are you even lighting up fires in an extremely dry climate? God, people are so fucking dumb, man. I know in Australia, when that really, really bad wildfire happened, I had friends in New Zealand sending me pictures of the sky getting overcast. By the way, New Zealand and Australia are not right next to each other. The sky was overcast in New Zealand, carried over from Australia. It's thousands of miles away. It's crazy.
Causes, the question remains, how did the senior and top officials allow this to happen by being so badly prepared? Insurance companies saw this coming a mile away last summer in 2024 by canceling the coverage of everyone in the Pacific Palisades. It didn't matter how long you were.
Yeah, that makes sense for a corporate company to do that, because they wouldn't make any money. They'd be losing money. Yeah.
Were subscribed to their insurance. They weren't the only insurer to do this, all giving the same reasons that if they stayed there, they faced the risk of bankruptcy. So yeah, it's not just health insurance that's scummy in the US, it's any type of insurance, including home insurance, wildfire insurance, you name it.
I think all insurance is a scam. It's insane.
People are very mad at both the mayor and the governor, with one Palisade resident finding Gavin Newsom and confronting him, asking him, how did you allow this to happen? Why is this happening? And look at his response. It's ridiculous.
I'm talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the call.
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So let's get it. Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it.
I'm literally on the phone with the president. Let me hear it. Actually, you know, my phone isn't working. This is a resident that maybe voted for him, right? Trusted him to run California and give it what it needs in the face of disaster, and yet she was completely and utterly failed. At the same time, there's a petition calling for the mayor to resign because she also did not prepare for this. Currently sitting at over 78,000 signatures and going up by the second. I mean, look at all these signatures happening right now as I'm talking. People...
How does Cali people not have fire insurance? For the same reason why all the, what is it called? The Floridian insurance companies pulled out with flood insurance. Yeah, they ran away from the state because they knew that they were going to suffer from an irrecoverable loss, because they knew that this was going to happen. Like, yes, I think the insurance is a scam, but I understand the logic of why they did it.
Are very pissed. As I'm recording this at 2 a.m. European time on January 12th, the Palisades fire is only 11% contained, needing to reach 100 for it to be controlled and then completely extinguished. Eaton fire, same thing, sitting at 15%. Now the firefighters and government officials are hoping that the winds finally regress and allow them to actually contain the fires, but here's the problem. The winds keep getting worse and they're not calming down. Worst case, they keep going until next week, which means that unless more people are mobilized, more water is somehow found, and more measures are taken, this fire will continue spreading. And I want to make sure to say that this is not the...
I don't want to be like a pessimist, but I think they're probably going to just let it burn, or at least do their best in what they can do. They can't stop it at this point. When Australia happened, they did kind of just like say, you know what, fuck it. Like we're gonna try and salvage as much as we can before, like, the entire state can go up in flames, but we're gonna try and recover as best as we can. They'll stop it. It affects the rich people. You fucking retard. Holy fuck. There's millions of people that are getting affected by this. Rich people's houses got burned down. You think the firefighters are gonna take pics on who they're going to save? They burned down several rich people's houses, man. Look, I know I hate the rich and whatever, but Jesus, dude.
Fault of the firefighters or the first responders. These people are heroes. The ones who should be held responsible, though, are the senior officials, the people high up in power that have the ability to determine budget cuts, track water reservoirs, make sure fire hydrants are functioning, because it's their fault. And unless something changes with those people, this is going to happen again next year, mark my words. Anyways, please stay safe out there, and thank you so much for watching until the end. I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is, and yeah, love you so much.
Use the ocean water. Oh, every time I see someone typing use the ocean water, I actually like want to lose my fucking marbles. Some of y'all should go back to school.
Mwah.
No. Bro, I'm literally on the phone with the president's chats! Bam, 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 bam. Yes. I'm glad some of y'all aren't farmers or agriculturalists, because y'all typing are crazy. Y'all are insane. Oh, that was good. That was good, though. Yeah, I feel really bad for all the Californians, man. Moving water's rough. But it's in the ocean. How could it be rough if we just get the water up the hill and then we just put the water on the roofs? Yeah. Yeah, why don't we use the ocean water? Oh, God. Yeah, Australia's technically a continent that's surrounded by water. Why didn't they just put ocean water on the fire? Kind of powerful, kind of strong.
Fire, fire, fire.